You should act like you like just got here.
Oh my god, I just got here.
No, like walk in. Like you just like snuck up on me.
Whoa.
Whoa, is that Dale Decker?
Yeah.
Dude, good thing you came. I already put my little microphone on.
Oh, good.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, you should act like you just got here and we both have the mics on. No, but seriously though, what the fuck is this, dude?
This is a top secret obstacle.
It looks insane.
It's for an event. It's for these guys.
What's the radius on that? Sorry, I keep interrupting.
That is a 42-inch radius, 3.5 feet.
Wow.
Very tight.
Yeah.
So it's 46 inches tall.
Okay.
So I guess it has like the slightest amount of oververt.
I made it a point to not ask Corey anything about this because I have lots of questions. This is what our video is about today. What the fuck is it?
It's an obstacle that's going to be some type of X Factor extension for an event for these guys. It rhymes with masher, and that's all I can say. But
it rhymes with breath hatch.
Sure.
Breath hatch.
It's kind of meant to be skatable, but also kind of just a prop in a way.
Okay.
It is going to be skated.
Okay, well, I did notice this side is straight up and down at a 90-degree angle, and this one is not.
Yeah, and that's why this thing is a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Not a massive pain in the ass, like not even 1/10 of the amount of pain in the ass that Volcano was, but I can't just cut 2x4s and slap it together like I could a quarter pipe. If this side was also straight, yeah, I could slap it together in like 5 minutes. But because this is on an 11-degree angle, as my ribs go down and start to be at different places on the transition, my miter and my bevel, the two different types of angles, are changing.
Yeah.
And so the difference between a miter and a bevel, say this is a 2x4, this is your miter cut. So if you say like, cut this 2x4 at 45 degrees, it's a 45-degree miter, and then that's your bevel. As I'm figuring out the length and the angles of each one.
Oh my god, okay, I see what you're saying.
Miter and bevel is always slightly different.
Yeah.
Because you might think, oh, okay, once you figure it out once, you just do it all the way through.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't do that because as this radius goes this way, the pitch of every single 2x4 is changing.
Right.
So like on this side, I was writing some notes. Like I think I started at like a 9-degree miter with a 7-degree bevel. Then it goes 10, 8, 8, 7, 9.5, 6, 9.5, 5, 10, 4. So you have to check every one. So that's what I was doing over here. I'm flipping over to this side now.
Oh, you need to do the same thing.
And do the same thing to rivet.
Okay. Jesus Christ, dude. This
That's
is a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Sometimes I hate it, but if you can get in the right mindset, it's kind of soothing. And this is the kind of thing that I like to save for like a Friday afternoon, because our guys do a half day on Fridays. So they're all out at like 1 or 2-ish.
Yeah.
So for like the other 4 or 5 hours of the day, I like to set aside stuff like this where I can just kind of zone out, laser focus, and just get in a groove.
You're such a good boss, honestly.
Why?
Because a blue collar guy giving Fridays a half day.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
I tried 410s first.
Okay.
It didn't really work that well.
That would be tough.
Everybody gets burnt out at like 9-ish.
Yeah.
And then Thursday.
And then the last hour of the day is probably just like super unproductive.
Exactly.
So it's like a waste.
And then you start to get like guys showing up a little bit late and leaving a little bit early. And then it's like at the end of day Friday, you're like, dude, you only did 35 hours.
Right.
Like
right.
what happened to 410s,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I've found this to be like a happy medium of like, okay, you get a shorter day, but then you still like,
you still get your full hourage.
Yeah. I'm gonna figure out this rib. Basically, the whole video is gonna be how you figure this out. I'm gonna measure my top. I've already marked like where my 2x4 goes. So I wanna have the top and the bottom and the middle. So I'm gonna put that here. I feel like you need to like point this way.
I can do that.
I feel like you should like be, you can't see my lines and shit.
I can do that. I'll stand up right now.
Yeah, do it. Hurry up. All right, so I'm gonna measure off of my.
Oh, look at those lines.
Yeah, you see my lines?
Look at those dope.
That's center. I mean, I'm gonna put a C there. center.
Dope lines.
So I'm gonna measure the top. So I'm gonna hold from here, top of that 2x4 to top of this one is 41.5. Now I wanna figure out my miter. So I'm gonna stick this level here. Just gonna use the center line, and then I'm gonna use this little angle finder. You can get this at Harbor Freight, Home Depot, wherever.
What real life situation where would you need to like do this?
Mostly carpentry, maybe
Dude,
metalworking.
that is like answering the question in a way of like, where do you get food? Usually restaurants.
It grows out of the ground.
Yeah, like what?
I mean, outside of making ramps, I haven't really used this for many other things. Like maybe if you made some dope table, I don't know.
I mean, that's a way better answer than carpentry.
Yeah, maybe furniture making. Okay, so this one is right around 4.5. So then I'm gonna write 4.5 degrees.
God almighty.
And now I wanna figure out my bevel. So for that one, I'm basically just finding this angle, right? Like that. And then when I did it, I was right here. Because when you're at 90, basically looking at 45 upside down, or you can see the 90 underneath, but it's kind of worn away, so I always reference the top because those numbers are crispier. But I was right there, I was just shy of 50, which is like 4.5. So now, figuring out the other way, same thing. Center line there, I'm gonna pull this out, make it wider than it needs to be. So see how I have my screw holes here? Screw hole there, screw hole there.
I'm trying to not get too close to you because you're sick.
Whatever. I always get close to you when you're sick.
Yeah, but you have a stronger immune system.
So then I do that. About like just shy of 10 degrees. I'm gonna call it 9.5.
God almighty.
So I got 9.5 and 4.5. And sometimes to just like not get confused, I'll use like a scrap piece of material. I know that it's 41.5 at the top. 4.5 is the 9.5.
She bevel on my stud till I miter. Or what's better, she miter on my stud till I bevel?
Yeah, I like that one better. I hate the way I sound right now.
That just goes to show everyone how hard you work for here being sick, that you can't even tell until you start getting all sniffly because you're so high energy and hard working. I know that sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not.
I don't really like have a choice or have like the luxury of a sick day, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that.
Somebody recently was like, why don't you just take a day off? I'm like, dog, I can't.
I'm the boss. Yeah.
Well, and it's not just like normal boss duties. It's like we're building something for a Skull Candy FA shoot that has to get delivered on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then we're doing Thrasher Deathmatch, which has to like be loaded on a truck on Wednesday, driven out on Thursday, built on Friday. I can't just like be at home. 41.5, so I'm just gonna mark that on the top right here. This one is the 4.5. So now I'm gonna go on here. I'm kind of already set up at 4.5 from the last cut I did. Miter is here.
Yeah.
You know, this swings this way.
Right.
So I'm going to 4.5 right there. Lock it. I also need to do my 9.5. It that way.
Oh, I see. You're literally tilting the saw. Yeah. Okay.
So that one's gonna be like that. That one's gonna be like that. And then I already set my 4.5. I need to set my 9.5. And then that's gonna be the top. And now we see if it works.
So now once you, now what?
I attach it with screws. It's always a little awkward getting these. So I didn't like nail it. See how like my back corner there is tight and then I do have a little gap there?
Oh yeah.
It's good enough, especially for it being a skate ramp that's gonna get used for just a few hours. So I'm gonna roll with it.
It's still gonna keep the structural integrity sound.
For sure.
Yeah.
And also, this whole thing's getting sheeted with like 3 layers of sheeting.
So it's gonna also be triple reinforced.
Yeah. And also, no one's gonna see that because it's gonna be covered by sheeting.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm gonna figure out the next one. Same thing. Pull my tape at the top, there to there. So I'm like 42 3/8 at the top, like just over 6. I'll call it 6. And then now I want to figure out my bevel. 9.5, 10. It's like 2 degrees bigger than our last one because as that rib is going down the transition, that little turn now made that slightly different. Sorry if I'm not explaining this stuff as well as I could be or should be. It's just I'm trying to keep all the numbers in my head and I'm also like visualizing the piece. And
I think you're doing a good job.
All right.
Because I'm understanding it as you're explaining it. And if I was gonna say, if I can understand it, then anyone can.
Pretty good.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's my 2x4 marks over there.
That's better than the last one,
Yeah.
I feel like.
If anything, I cut it like an eighth shy, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It'll work right there. So I backed it off like that because if I like over torque my screws and the rib is a little bit shy, I'm forcing the ply in, so I'm essentially making my side piece not straight. So that's why I wanted to let it breathe a little bit and back it off there to kind of embrace that little gap.
All right, Corey just did a third one. I wasn't going to film it because we already got enough footage of the previous two.
But
I am going to film it because he literally...
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He nailed it.
I think what happened, I did the whole other side and I got in that flow state and they were going really well. And then I measured this top one and was like, okay, I'll have the measurement and the bevel and the miter. And then when Dale gets here, I'll jump back in. But like that break kind of threw me off.
It interrupted your flow.
Yeah, and then I messed these ones, not messed them up, like I didn't get them perfect.
You didn't hit it first try.
And I'm finally like back in the groove, and then that one was just right.
Why are you making your life so difficult with making this angle? Why didn't you just make this literally straight, like this side?
It was going to be straight. You know, it's going on top of a ramp. And so my thought was that, yeah, it'll just get like plopped right on the deck, and it'll just be straight. It'll be this thing that's 4 feet wide. But it's going on a ramp that's 6 foot tall, and the ramp is cut on a 7-foot radius. So the very top of that ramp is an 11-degree angle. So had I done a straight side on both, it would have not been fluid. You would go from transition and you would feel that little kink of wall. And I want it to be fluid because I want there to be more tricks. I want the guys to have...
So making your life harder was your fault, not theirs.
Yeah, they didn't ask for this. They just asked for this extension. And there's a couple other things that are involved that everyone will know next week once it all goes down.
Okay.
But ultimately, I was thinking about it. I was like, all right, guys going off of this like 6 foot tall ramp and then, you know, hitting this thing and feeling that kink, you're probably not going to see as many tricks. And then I was like, if I match that 11-degree angle, we're probably going to see a lot more flip tricks, bigger airs, grabs. So this is a last minute like judgment call on my part for the skateability and the performance and just everything that goes down at this event. I want it to be that much better. So
I mean, that's a good call. 'Cause I mean, it's like anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Yeah, and I would hate to just like cut the corner of making my life easier and making the sides flat, and then getting feedback from, you know, some of the best skateboarders in the world are going to be at this event, and they're going to be like, yeah, it was cool except that weird extension thing, like I felt like kink.
Yeah.
You know, like I want them to be hyped on it.
Right. I love the detail of capping the coping.
Yeah, this just kind of felt like a hazard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cap it. And I made this 1 inch bigger than this profile. After it's sheeted on both sides, this will account for that, and it leaves this excess to cap the coping. And then the other thing that it does is it leaves, I think it's like it's almost 2.5 inches hanging off of the bottom. To lap the seam.
Okay.
The mini ramp transition ply hits right here.
Right.
And now this is lapping over it. So it's gonna be just super fluid and seamless. It's gonna look great.
No, man, I'm excited to see what's gonna go down on it. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, and this component is just one of the wow factors. And then, you know, they always bring out something towards the end of the event. Like we did the cactus 2 years ago.
And then the sunglasses.
And then the sunglasses last year. So this year, everyone will find out. But I'm pretty excited for it. Cool. I have to figure out that next week.
All right, dude, well, let me get out of your hair so you can go home and, well, at least wrap this up quicker so you can get home.
All right, that sounds great.
Yeah.
until next time.
Feel better.